What's up, comrades? Nightwolf here, and welcome to another video. Today, there's been something that's been nagging and bugging the ever-loving crap out of me lately when it comes to Comicsgate, when it comes to a lot of things that are going on currently, and it has to do with C.B.Cebulski. Now, we've all been voicing our concerns and our complaints at Marvel for quite a number of years now. Some of us have been doing it for considerably longer than others. What brought me to this kind of irritation and this complaint is a lot of people have been saying that this involves Max Bemis. Obviously, you know, with a lot of the comments that he said in the past or a few months ago, or I don't know, he could be saying them still. I don't follow him on Twitter. But, and people wanting CB to respond to this bad behavior and reprimand him. So, CB gets cornered at a convention at C2E2. Someone actually asks the question, very brave of them to do so, and he explains the situation to the best of either his knowledge or the best knowledge that he can give without, you know, giving too much away. And he says that he was reprimanded, which is good. That's what we've wanted. We wanted somebody as an editor-in-chief at Marvel who, at the very least, responds to the fans, who talks to people and says, hey, this is not good behavior, please stop doing this. Reprimand. You know, train these people not to misbehave too much on social media, because they do represent Marvel and they represent the company. But apparently, for some reason that I myself cannot fully understand or grasp, it's not enough. It's not enough. It wasn't enough. He apologized. It was not the best of apologies, and in all honesty and fairness, he doesn't have to apologize for his employee. He needs to reprimand his employee and, you know, apologize. I guess in a sense, yeah, he should apologize. I don't know. I'm going kind of off the cuff very heavily here, but because this has been bugging me for a while. So if I'm a little bit off, please let me know. CB doesn't... He can apologize to the company, or apologize to the fan base, but the best thing that he could do is reprimand his employees who misbehave. That's the best thing he can do, and that's what we got. We now have an editor-in-chief that actually is taking actions to try and improve the company and to try and make things better. That's what we're getting. That's what we have right now. Or at least that's what we've seen. We've seen bad books being canceled that weren't making money. We see an editor-in-chief who is directly responding to bad behavior complaints from his employees. Now, he did say that Max is freelance. From what I can only assume that he is, because there's a lot of writers and artists at Marvel who are freelance. They do not fully represent the company. They write for the company, but they aren't on staff 24/7. The important thing that I myself want to get across is that he can't control all his employees. He should do his best to try to, and when bad behavior does happen, he needs to bring those people into the office or give them a call and tell them, hey, stop doing that. That's what I want from him. I want him to take as much charge as he can, you know, do his job to the best of his abilities with the cards that he's been dealt with. But the part of this that bugs me the most is that some people just are not satisfied. It's not enough. And it's like, what more could he do? He can't do certain things in public. I've said this multiple times. I'm going to say it here because I've never done it in video form, but he can not reprimand his employees in public. That's what bosses who are from hell do. Those are bad bosses. Bad management, not good ones. And in a space like Twitter, if he were to respond to this and reprimand Max in that fashion, it's the same thing. It's public. Everybody gets to see it. Nobody needs to see whatever personal... that type of personal information. No one needs to know that. All we need to know is that he's been reprimanded. Whether it's once, twice, 3 times, I don't care. The fact that he was reprimanded at all is amazing to me. And is a small miracle for Marvel. Another thing that bugs me is this whole thing. It's like everyone's focused on Max Bemis. For some reason. A lot of people have some sort of obsession with this particular writer. I mean, yes, the things he said were completely inappropriate for the audience. That I understand. And yes, he should be reprimanded. He should be, people need to tell him that that's not cool. Obviously, all that good stuff, But the biggest problem that I have is that there's this thing that we all kind of talk about, like separating the art from the artist. Because let's face it and let's be realistic and honest, there are a lot of freaking artists out there who are assholes. This has been the case for generations. There's been a lot of them. There are a lot of jerks. There's a lot of them that are. But that normally doesn't reflect too badly on the art that they make themselves. At least in most cases. Now, from what I've heard for reviews for Max Bemis' Moon Knight, it's a good book. It's well written, from what I've been told. I've never had a chance to look at it myself, but I'm going to take the reviewer's words for it and said that the book is actually really good and doesn't have any of the typical SJW or, really bad writing that Marvel has been known for in recent years. That's a good thing. Is the guy an asshole on Twitter? Absolutely. Should he be reprimanded for being an asshole on Twitter to the fans? Absolutely. But people shouldn't stop buying his book just because he's an asshole. I think that there has, of course, granted, it's your money. Do what you want, but I think that you need to try and weigh it in a bit more. I don't know. I want to talk a bit more about separating art from artist a bit. Maybe in a bit more of a constructive format. I don't know. But the whole thing is that we wanted an editor-in-chief who did things and didn't, just sit on his ass and do nothing like Axel did. And we're getting that. I've even talked to some people who are part of different article companies or, other websites who review books and who get to do interviews and whatnot, and they say that CB's a great guy. He's very nice, he's very polite, and he's super excited to be working for Marvel in this capacity. So, and we're still contending with the Axel Alonso age, guys. That's the big thing here that pisses me off the most, is that we're still contending with that. We're still contending with the contracts that are still in existence for a lot of writers that we do not like, who are probably signed on to do these things before CB was even hired to take over. We need to understand that. There's certain things that we need to keep in mind before we jump to conclusions and that we blame everything on CB. I know it's because that's the easy way out. It's easy to blame CB for problems that he has no control over. I mean, there's several situations in the world where, One person is in power, they get removed, but whatever baggage and damage was left behind, the new person has to come in and clean it up. That's what we're contending with right now. They need to clean up Marvel still. They still need to contend with a lot of the problems and let new leadership take over. We're still in a current situation where that's going to take time. It's going to take another 6 to 8 months at best before we actually get to see what CB can actually do for the company. So I'm kind of getting tired of, especially their channels that are a lot larger than mine that have been doing this. And they're free to their opinion, obviously, but I think that there's another contingency of fans, both in Comicsgate and those that are maybe not in Comicsgate, that are upset because no one's listening to their voice. So there's that. You know, I feel like I'm a little bit on the outside here, and it's kind of irritating that nobody understands that some of these videos are unwarranted. And I think some of them are just done to fuel drama or to get views, and that bugs me a bit. Not the getting views part, that I understand, but what bugs me is that I don't know if there's any ulterior motives behind any of them, but I'm just trying to find balanced opinion about anything at this point. You know, I don't know. This is very rambly and ranty, I will admit. But, you know, I don't know. I'm just out of it. And I guess I can give you guys a short little update on what's going on, why videos are more sporadic. Partially because I'm moving. I've been busy with a lot of other projects. I've also been gone for a considerable amount of time, and I think I'm a bit off schedule. I'll try and be as much on schedule as I can, but I can't make any promises currently, so I apologize for that, and I apologize if I'm out of it. That's just the nature of the beast currently, so forgive me. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video in any way, shape, or form, please do not forget to leave me a like, shoot me a comment, subscribe if you're new, hit notifications, because if you don't, you know, you'll never be notified. Yep, you have to hit the button twice, basically. You gotta double sub to this channel. Triple sub if you can. Follow me on social media, all that other stuff. And as always, do not forget to raise your nerd flags high, and I will see you next time. Nightwolf is out.